In this video I'm going to decide whether I wasted my gap year or not. In October of 2021 I decided to quit university after 7 weeks. As a result I got an unplanned gap year, and logically, because it was unplanned, I didn't have any plans at first, but as soon as I made the decision that I was going to quit, I started making those plans for myself. Today I'm going to compare everything that I wanted to do with everything that I actually ended up doing, and at the end I'm going to decide whether my gap year was a waste of time or whether it was actually very valuable. What I wanted to do. One of the first things I came up with that I wanted to do during my gap year was travel through Germany by car and staying in hostels. Because I was so stressful from making this decision to quit, I just really felt the need to just get out of my normal environment, to have some space for myself, to try new things, think about everything that had happened and think about everything that I wanted to happen. In addition, that travel would be great for improving my German, which is something that I really wanted to do. I wanted to seek some discomfort and I really wanted to meet some new people. The second thing that I wanted to do was learn a new language. At that time on YouTube I saw a lot of videos of people learning new languages in a set amount of days, and that was something that just really spoke to me, and I thought it would be great if I could learn a new language so that could be another opportunity to meet new people, because basically at the least a whole new country opens up for you. Then I decided I wanted to start uploading 2 YouTube videos per week instead of 1 video per week, which is what I did up until then. After that, the plan was to start working about 20 hours per week as soon as I came back from my travels through Germany. Then I wanted to save up enough money to buy a van. I then wanted to convert that van into a camper and then take another gap year and use that year to travel through Europe. So those were all the things that I wanted to do. Now let's get into what I actually did. As often happens with plans, absolutely nothing went according to plan. Instead of traveling through Germany for a few weeks and doing all sorts of cool and terrifying things, I ended up staying home basically all day, every day, because I lost motivation and courage to go. There was a new uproar of COVID, so traveling became more difficult, and I was so tired that I could barely think about doing anything, let alone travel to another country. Instead of uploading 2 videos per week, I uploaded 4 videos in 7 months. Instead of working 20 hours per week, I worked about 4 to 10 hours per week since February of this year. Before that I barely worked at all. Because I didn't work as much, saving money for a van became pretty much a really unrealistic goal. And instead of wanting to take another gap year to travel through Europe, I found a study that I was really excited about and really wanted to do. So instead of taking another gap year, I'm going to college. From January of this year on, I started going to a physiotherapist on the regular, and as a result of that, physically I feel the best I felt in at least the last 5 years. And in June of this year I traveled to Scotland by plane by myself with my wheelchair, which was an experience on its own, to go to an Ed Sheeran concert with someone I had never met in person before, and also share an Airbnb with that same person, which by the way was one of the most epic experiences of my life, and I'm definitely really glad that I did that. So yeah, those are the things that I actually ended up doing. Now, coming to a conclusion, when I just look at the list of things that I wanted to do versus things that I did, it doesn't really feel like I did a lot. And that is really, really true. And there are a lot of things that I regret about this year. But at the same time, one of the points that I did do, going to a physiotherapist, physically feeling the best I felt in the last 5 years, if not my whole life, that is such an important point that makes me so much happier and so much more excited about life, that it's hard to put that across from something more basic as learning a new language, for example. So if I have to draw the conclusion for myself, which obviously I do, I am going to say that yes, there are things that I regret about this gap year, and I definitely do think that I wasted a lot of time and I really wish that I hadn't. But at the same time, the things that I did do brought me so much joy and did so much for my life that I just can't look at that and say my whole year was a waste and I never should have done it this way. So I'm going to decide that in the end the things that I did do outweigh the things that I didn't. So I'm going to give this gap year a stamp of success, even though there are a lot of things that I wish I had done differently. So that was basically everything that I wanted to say in this video regarding the topic of my gap year. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out. I feel like I'm not going to be 100% satisfied with it, but as the banner of my channel says, I'm finally going to start making crappy videos now to make great videos someday, because when you want to get better at something, it's better to just go for quantity than quality. And even though I've known that for years, I'm finally going to start putting that into practice. So yeah, if you did like the video and if you did like how it turned out, then please give it a like. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.